hit like, subscribe, and share. Your support keeps this channel alive. The landscape is a vibrant tapestry of fiery reds, deep oranges, and brilliant golds. A thick, ethereal mist drifts lazily through the valleys, partially obscuring the peaks and adding a layer of profound mystery. The camera, moving with a slow, deliberate grace, descends from the sky, gliding smoothly over the canopy of ancient maple and cedar trees. Sunlight filters through the dense leaves, casting dappled, glowing patterns on the forest floor below. The gentle, haunting melody of a shakuhachi flute begins to play, its notes echoing through the silent air. The camera continues its journey, moving deeper into the heart of the forest, navigating between the moss-covered trunks of colossal trees that have stood for centuries. It follows a nearly invisible, overgrown path that winds its way up a steep incline. As it rounds a bend, a hidden, weathered Shinto shrine comes into view, nestled within a small clearing. The shrine is ancient, its wooden beams dark with age, and its stone lanterns covered in a soft blanket of moss. A quiet, almost imperceptible whisper seems to emanate from the shrine itself, carried on the cool mountain air. The whispers are layered, speaking of ancient legends and forgotten spirits. In the heart of Japan's most sacred mountains, where the autumn leaves burn with a fire that seems to defy the coming winter, there are stories whispered on the wind. They speak of a power older than the stones of the shrines, a spirit as wild and untamable as the peaks themselves. The locals and the few who dare to wander these ancient paths tell of a guardian, a sorceress of the mountain, whose wings are like those of a great hawk, and whose eyes gleam with the crimson intensity of the dying sun. They call her Momiji Tengu, the maple demon, a being of immense power and unpredictable nature, forever bound to the fiery soul of the autumn forest. Her domain is this silent, beautiful, and treacherous wilderness, and she watches over it with an immortal, vigilant gaze, her presence a constant, unseen force. The sound of rhythmic, pounding taiko drums joins the flute, creating a sense of urgency and impending conflict. Following a small, determined group of samurai warriors as they make their ascent up the same mountain path. They are clad in traditional dark blue and gray armor, their katana sheathed at their sides. Their faces are stern, set with purpose, their movements disciplined and cautious. They are clearly on a mission. Their presence a stark contrast to the natural serenity of the forest. As they press deeper into the woods, the environment begins to change in subtle, then dramatic ways. The wind, once a gentle breeze, starts to howl with a mournful, unnatural sound, whipping the fallen maple leaves into frantic, swirling vortexes around their feet. The air grows colder, a biting chill that seeps through their armor. But the mountain does not welcome all who trespass. Its secrets are jealously guarded, and its spirit is a formidable gatekeeper. Into this sacred domain came a band of samurai, loyal retainers of a distant lord, sent to uncover the source of the mountain's strange power. They were brave, skilled, and unwavering in their duty, but they were entering a realm that operated by rules far older and more complex than the Bushido code they lived by. They marched into the heart of the Crimson Forest, unaware that every step was being watched, every breath measured. The forest around the samurai grows perceptibly darker, the sunlight seeming to retreat as if afraid. The shadows lengthen and twist into unsettling shapes. The world begins to warp. Strange, illusory phenomena manifest round the travelers. Phantom fires, burning with a cold, blue flame, ignite on tree branches only to vanish a moment later. Whispering shadows flit at the edge of their vision, sounding like tormented voices or mocking laughter, always just out of sight. Fleeting, almost subliminal glimpses of giant, feathery wings flicker between the trees. The lead samurai, a seasoned warrior with a scar over one eye, suddenly halts. He raises a hand, signaling his men to stop. He closes his eyes, his head tilted, listening not with his ears, but with a deeper, instinctual sense. The air crackles with an unseen energy. We are not alone. As he speaks the words, a powerful gust of wind erupts from the clearing ahead, tearing through the forest with explosive force. It is a gale so strong it bends the ancient trees and sends a blizzard of red and gold leaves spiraling into the air. The samurai shield their faces, struggling to keep their footing. And then, as suddenly as it began, the wind dies down. Standing before them, materializing from the swirling chaos of leaves, is a figure. It is Momiji Tengu. Her form is humanoid, but otherworldly. Her face, beautiful and pale, is partially obscured by a mask made of crimson feathers, from which to piercing, intelligent eyes gleam with an unnerving, ruby-red light. She wears flowing robes the color of blood and autumn twilight, and in one hand she holds a large, intricately designed fan seemingly carved from a single piece of enchanted, gnarled wood. She is utterly still, a figure of both breathtaking beauty and terrifying power. The taiko drums reach a crescendo. A dramatic confrontation begins. Momiji Tengu slowly, gracefully raises her fan. With a single, fluid snap, she unleashes her magic. The sky, once clear, darkens instantly as thick, churning storm clouds gather overhead with impossible speed. The air hums with raw power. She is not merely a warrior. She is the storm itself. She tests the hearts and resolve of the intruders, her illusions becoming terrifyingly real. Bolts of lightning, crackling with violet energy, strike the ground around the samurai, splintering ancient trees and scorching the earth. With a movement that is both elegant and predatory, she leaps into the air, her crimson robes flowing and billowing around her like tongues of fire, and descends upon them. The battle is a stunning, chaotic duel of magic versus steel. She appeared not as a creature of flesh and blood, but as an avatar of the mountain's wrath. Momiji Tengu, the sorceress, had revealed herself. She did not seek to kill them outright, but to test them, to weigh the courage and purity of their souls. Her power was that of illusion and elemental fury, a tempest designed to break the minds of lesser men. The samurai, brave as they were, found their swords useless against an enemy who could command the very fabric of reality. The duel intensifies. The visual effects are spectacular. Momiji Tengu's magic twists and reshapes the world around them. With a sweep of her fan, the ancient trees groan and come to life, their branches twisting into grasping claws that lash out at the warriors. She conjures walls of ethereal fire that, upon contact with a samurai's blade, dissipate into a harmless, glittering shower of swirling maple leaves, only to reform elsewhere. The samurai are overwhelmed, separated, and disoriented by the magical onslaught. They fight shadows, strike at phantoms, and are battered by winds that carry the force of a physical blow. One by one, they are disarmed and cast aside, not by wounds, but by the sheer, disorienting force of her magic. The forest becomes a dizzying, beautiful, and deadly kaleidoscope of color and chaos. The sequence transitions. The fury of the storm subsides as the first, gentle rays of dawn pierce through the dissipating clouds. The taiko drums fade, replaced once again by the solitary, melancholic flute. The forest is calm. The air still and cool. The ground is littered with fallen leaves and the discarded weapons of the defeated samurai, all but one. The lead samurai, bruised and exhausted but unbroken, stands alone in the clearing. His armor is dented, his breathing heavy, but his eyes show no fear, only a profound sense of awe. Momiji Tengu hovers a few feet above the ground before him. The storm within her now quiet. She observes him, her crimson eyes searching his soul. Instead of raising his katana for a final, desperate attack, the warrior slowly sheathes his blade. He drops to his knees, not in surrender, but in a deep, formal bow of respect, his forehead touching the leaf-strewn ground. He is acknowledging a power far greater than his own, a spirit of the land that deserves reverence, not conquest. As the night gave way to morning, the trial came to an end. Only the bravest, the one whose heart held not greed or malice, but steadfast duty and respect, remained. He saw in the sorceress not a monster to be slain, but a divine guardian, a force of nature to be honored. In this act of humility, he passed her final test. The battle was not won with steel, but with wisdom. A faint, knowing smile touches Momiji Tengu's lips. The oppressive, magical atmosphere lifts completely. The forest returns to its former state of serene beauty. The morning light making the mist glow with a golden luminescence. She begins to fade, her physical form becoming translucent, dissolving into countless motes of shimmering red light that mingle with the gently falling maple. Leaves, her quiet, ethereal laughter, a sound like wind chimes, echoes softly through the valley as she disappears entirely, becoming one with the light and the forest she protects. The final shot is a slow pan-out, rising above the lone, kneeling samurai, showing the vast, silent expanse of the autumn mountains, peaceful once more. And so the sorceress vanished, her test complete. The warrior returned not with a prize or a trophy, but with a story of a power beyond mortal understanding. Some say she still guards the mountains of Kyoto, a timeless sentinel hidden within the beauty of the seasons, forever watching from the heart of the forest, where the leaves never stop falling. Some say she still guards the mountains of Kyoto, where the leaves never stop falling.